I can see where you think that's a great idea,
スケジュール
but
通り
that is
送
gonna
れるな。
blow up.
まずいな。
This isn't a high school anime.
面白い企画入ってきたぜ。
People are gonna get
美
angry.
人コンテスト。
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Stoneface Reactions. I'm Theta, and we are back to another episode of Infinite Ryvius. We are on episode 10. First off, though, we do have a comment from Master Detective from the Patreon from the episode Even If It's Unbelievable. Say what you want to say about Blue's leadership, and I have, and over-reliance on the gun to assert control, but I've really respected how he truly takes in the input of those below him, particularly Koji. In these last few episodes, you notice a trend of Koji suggesting rational plans and ideas for the bridge to follow, which Blue accepts, and then they accept. For Koji, conveying solutions in pinch and gathering acceptance seems to be a strength. For Blue, I actually find it atypical behavior of the bully trope character to be willing to defer to others' ideas as much as he does. He also puts the gun up to his head when he thinks it's all over, so that's something too. I mean, I mentioned that during the episode, but I think I also mentioned it again in my notes afterwards. It's so defeatist of him out of the blue. It's hilarious. I mean, it's not hilarious, but considering the character and the archetype, it's just so random. Because it's so, here's a shot of person, here's a shot of person, here's a shot of Blue putting a gun to his head. What? I think it's poignant too that the two ships wouldn't have made it out of this conflict if they didn't believe in each other's ship, and that especially Koji believed in the Vital Garter, and that Yuki believed that the Ryvius would follow their path. Bros that hate each other, yet still on the same wavelength, huh? Julie being your favorite character is fair, I get it. I like her a lot as well. As an Ikumi advocate myself, what makes her better than him to you? I think he's competent and his heart is in the right place, just like her too. I don't know. I mean, I think it's an element that I just don't think of Ikumi all that much, especially since as the show's gone on longer, he's just kind of been less focused. Or not less focused, he's been less in focus. Because there's the element of the fact that he's been put on the Vital Garter staff, and before the Vital Garter launched or was necessary, he just kind of wasn't in the show at that point because it's just like, oh, he got in a fight with Yuki. Oh, he got in a fight with Yuki about Koji. Oh, he went back to bed and is now asleep. Just hasn't been there. Not been the focus. Early on, when we were just figuring out who the characters were and what was going on, he was just as good as everybody else. I mean, he helped storm the bridge and take it back from the infiltrators, which was great. But I'm not specifically looking. I know I'm different in multiple different shows. Like when it comes to a shonen, obviously I might pick somebody who's like the strongest fighter or something, like Kenpachi in Bleach, right? But I'm not specifically looking for like who's the biggest badass on the Ryvius, because otherwise I just pick Blue, right? That's obvious. The thing is that Blue does things that push me off the edge, like when he pinned Julie to the wall outside the bridge and told her to stop wearing her uniform, or constantly points a gun at her or other people. Don't like Blue. Julie is the one that remains for me. She is what do you call it? Like, she's basically like a valedictorian of her class. She has good people skills, even though she seems to be a bit more naive than I would have expected her of being. People seemed to have trusted her when she gave the giant speech, even though they've turned on this Y crew since then because of Blue. Like, the things you like about Blue are what he's good at manipulating people into believing. Because otherwise, he wouldn't have the authority to be that guy that you like without him. I know you were talking about Akumi, and I've gone off on Blue. It's just that element of what has lost my like of Blue versus why I like Julie And when it comes to Akumi, he used to do things. You could easily see Akumi being the good guy version of Blue, right? And then he suddenly doesn't. I assume that he is mostly responsible for taking Brack, for taking back the what do you call it? The lift ship, whatever the vital garter is stored in and is controlled by, whatever that thing's called. I would assume he's mostly responsible for that. So yeah, he is, I would say, one of the top 4 most important people on the ship. Because I would obviously say Blue is on the top. He's forced himself to be. Like, there's no argument there. Oh shit. I had it in my head, now it's escaping me. Akumi is. Sorry, Koji's probably number 2. Koji has the element of he talks to everybody, so he is the voice that people come to rely on. He is also the voice of reason on the bridge. There are elements of Koji that I do not like that I think are going to become a major problem in the future that saying my piece now I don't think I can bring up because I don't think they're a thing yet. But voice of reason on the bridge has the ear of the crew, not the crew, the kids. Beneath him is probably Akumi because he's the man of action on the good guy level side and is enacting what needs to happen. I'd probably put Yuki on the bottom, even though Yuki is probably more man of action than Akumi is. It's just he's man of action on the ship or the vital garter, right? He's the number 1 person on the board from back when we saw. And even he thought everyone working at their best was working too slow. So, and there's probably an element that we've seen Yuki beat up Akumi before, so if there comes another action moment, that he could be that guy. But remembering back to when Akumi had to help storm the bridge, that Yuki just wandered off, or wandered up, saw what was happening, saw it all get taken care of, and then wandered the fuck off too. Yuki's unreliable, but he's very important. Anyway, that's only top 4. Obviously, you can go down the list from there, but it gets a bit more nebulous the further down you go. Okay. Let's see. We got a board. Bringing up the board. And something I'm going to try here. I've listed the changes that I've made to the board to make it a bit more clear what I've done. Because I know that sometimes this can just be a mess, and I have not been very good in the past about describing what is going on in my spaghetti-a-thon. So, I've changed the green lines between Koji and Aoi. These two. From green to white to represent Koji's coldness and aggravation towards Aoi, but included a green arrow pointing from Aoi to Koji, indicating her friendliness towards him regardless. I have changed the red line between Yuki and Akumi to green. They seem to be getting along well now, despite everything. I connected Nyx to Sun and Gran via white lines for their working together on the same project with some uncertain relationships. I've connected Colin and Charlotte/Kelly with white lines as they are in the same group. She supplies the radar info too. I've changed the green line between Sun and Blue/Ryu/Fu/Griff/Kai to red for obvious reasons. I changed the green line between Kevin and Sheik and Gran to red for betrayal. I've connected Stein and Julie to Gran via red line, betrayal. I've connected Pat to Luxon with a green line for the responsibility that's been placed there. And I have changed the white line between Akumi, Larry, Marco, Yuki, and Charlie, and Gran to red, because, obviously, we can no longer trust this guy. He's in the same beat-up category as a Sun, except that I feel bad for Sun, given that we saw that Sun got bullied into the position he's in. So, not very hard. to manipulate him out of it. Alright, and 2 notes. Purple Girl opened her eyes at the same time the Vital Garter's head thing glowed blue. Is it possible that whoever or whatever she is, she's in the Vital Garter? On the subject of her, I also wonder how much of the ship's systems she controls. We've seen her react to incoming weapons and protect the ship outside of Zwei inputting commands. Last episode, she was monitoring communications between the lift ship and the Ryvius itself, and almost seemed to connect the 2 ships' communication systems together, independent of the Gadult interference. I also feel like there is a common element between when people have been able to see her, but I'm not exactly sure what it is. Like, being in an emotional state. Koji in the hall after a fight, Rafra left on their own tied to a door, Nyx being hungry or after getting yelled at. I wonder where the blame is going to fall after Cullen showed everyone the radar readout. Does Y already have targets on their backs for the Blue Gang's mutiny? But you'd think that everyone would think Blue and Gang were in charge at the moment, and it might be them keeping everyone out of the loop. I guess from a glass half full perspective, at least both Y and Blue see the importance in not creating a panic this way. Even if Blue is aiming a gun at everyone and manipulating people a whole of a hell lot more than this Y ever did. I really don't know how the Vital Garter control ship survived the Vital Garter's impact with the Martian surface. I mean, gravity control and shielding is clearly a thing when it comes to this show, but I don't really think it's been explained where that comes from, emission-wise. Like, the Vital Garter can do that stuff from its hands, but what protected the control ship from the blast? Also, why didn't it just crash into the ground right behind the mech? Does the ship have gravity control too, or is it the source of the gravity control, and the power shunting being done on the Ryvius is just backup stuff? So something that doesn't make a lot of sense to me, without doing some world building, I guess. The Vital Garter team essentially touched the the Martian surface. If they were going to make a shot at getting out of this, why not just make a run at a Martian settlement? I think the idea is that with the communications down, no one knows the situation that they are in. Perfect chance to take your ship and your mech and rejoin civilization. Establish communications. Do something. I don't know. This seems off to me. Not really sure what Conrad is upset in regards to using the Wells ring. He mentions that it's a civilian installation, but Lima Delta was a school, and he didn't seem to have any problems having it fall into the adult while filled with kids, let alone sending men on board to kill all the adults. Feels like the more we know about Conrad, the more we know about this whole thing. I have no idea why Julie handed off Pat to Luxon. The guy is an idiot and a child himself. I'd want to make sure Pat was as close to me as possible in order to ensure his safety. On the other hand, the number of times Blue has pointed a gun at Julie on the bridge, the number of times she stood up to him, I'd have to believe that she'd be worried that Pat was in danger as something to be used against her, vis-a-vis the conversation Blue had with Fu about if Yuki stepped out of line again and making an example of Koji. Even then, though, I'd prefer Pat to be close, where I knew he might be in danger, but possibly could be immediately responded to in said danger, than to leave him with Luxon, where anything could happen and you'd never know. And my final note here, I still can't believe we got that one image of Blue about to blow his own brains out. The most human and fatalistic thing I've seen him do the entire show so far. So yeah, like Master Detective had mentioned. the whole blue thing, it's fucking crazy. It's laughable to me because of how out of the blue it was. Anyway, let's get into the show.
But before we get started,
make sure that you hit the like button,
hit that subscribe button,
comment down below to feed that algorithm.
On top of all that, if you want to watch more shows like this,
unfiltered,
uncensored,
and uncut,
as well as some early access stuff,
you can check it out over on the Patreon.
It's just $5 a month, but hey, no pressure.
There's zero pressure in order to do that. It's just a little bit of extra support, and it would be greatly appreciated.
What kind of programming they had to do to make sure that they didn't just throw all those ships at Mars. So, recap episode? What the hell's going on here? Oh, propaganda. Who set up all the, Who set all this up? I feel like this was like a jump. Because, think about it, you have to convince the people to set up all the decorations and the food and everything while they don't trust you, for you to give the giant speech about how they should trust you and what actually happened. Sorry, I was so confused, by the way, by what was happening that I didn't check to see who he gave the credit to for the win. Because if he said it was the blue and the Y, great, amazing, no complaints. Well, some complaints about blue taking credit for just being there, but the element that Zwei should get some credit here, because the Zwei is technically still in control of everything, in that I don't think Blue and Gang have any ability to control the ship, or, program a solid or whatever. Sorry, there was also another thought that entered my head right at the beginning before we got to that shot, is I guess we now also know how strong, like the tensile strength of the cords, or strings, or wires, whatever, that connect the lift ship to the vital garter are, and that the vital garter could be knocked out of space by that meteoroid, and the lift ship didn't get, broken apart from it, just followed through. Still a question in my head if Sun got killed or not, so waiting to see that too. Is that sweat?
Yeah.
So it seemed like his eye was here, but the water came down from above it.
あとは衛星軌道上で待ってればいいんだし、みんなずっと抑圧されたから。それにブリッジ側に抱いてる不信感を拭うチャンスにもなるかと。どうかな。
無理するな。
え？
ここには大人もいないし、守るべき社会もない。周りのために面倒なことを引き受ける義務もない。違うか？
そうかもしんないけど、ギスギスするのは嫌だから。
勝手にしろ。
I think it's gonna be Blue that destroys everything. Okay, so we're back in time to what's about to happen. But also Charlie's still there.
助かるよ。イベントで出し物やりたい人は端末で申請してくれ。
Again, the last thing these people heard was that they were under attack, and now that they're not.
実行委員の役割分担とスケジュールです。
ありがとう。
うわ、びっしり。
私はどんなくだらない作業も手が抜けない性
I
格
think
です。
Stein might be my second favorite. Because he at least gets shit done.
親方、そんな格好で外に出て怖くないんですか？
船体に沿ってフィールドが張られてるんだ。何の心配するより仕事しろ。
Technically, he's wearing slightly more than he normally does.
持ってきたぜ。
ありがとうニックス。資材はだいぶ揃ったみたいだね。あとは櫓を立てて。
I have to wonder if they were invoking Akira.
こういう作業苦手だな僕。
だからそうじゃなくて、
ねえ、グランはどうなったのかな。
特別室に隔離されてるらしいぜ。
特別室。
イベント実行委員の皆さんに連絡します。
しかしあんなやつだっ
I'm gonna have to put a,
大量の荷物が運ばれました。
Hey, we haven't seen her in forever.
サポートに回ってください。
わかった。
We have to put a red box around Gran
指示通りに
imprisonment.
運んでくれよ。わかってるよ。ハッパンはロボのインプットに入ってくれ。はい、相葉です。
お化け屋敷の材料足りねえんだけど。材料持ってきたぜ。ソーイングマシンも持ってきた。
おい、ここでやるのかよ。
仕方がないでしょ、時間がないんだから。採寸と仕立ては私がやるから。じゃあ私たちは相葉君を手伝いに行くわね。
差し入れまだかよ。
みんな腹減ってんだ。とっととしろよ。
はい、ただいま。
I mean, they've been on rations the whole time. I appreciate Luke's in this new
ヘイガーのやつ、父上、目かけてます。
subservient position that he's now in.
止まっても。くら。ウィリーに頼まれさえしなければ。
ごめんなさいルクス。
うわ。いや、なかなかしっかりしたお子さんでね。うわ。
Little less. Anyone that makes Pat cry, little less appreciated.
でも仕上げは僕じゃ難しいな。整備家の友達でラダンってこういうのバッチリこなすやつがいるんだけど、誘ったら断られちゃった。
そう。残念だな。
Damn it, Raiden. It was your one chance.
その前にパートナー決めたいわね。そっか、そうよね。
Charlie, let it go.
でも私のパーツまだ見つかんないし。
Could find Kika still wandering around. Without the crocodile helmet, I mean.
いやー、コウジの弟じゃねえか。
いつもの仲間はどうした？
何のことだ？
そんなことだよ。
あいつなら今最高な場所にいるぜ。発狂するか自分から命綱切るか。
涼しい顔してよく言えるな。片方は仲間じゃねえか。
裏切り者！仲間なんかじゃねえ。
親方、いきなりキックなんてひどいっすよ。命綱と宇宙服がなかったら今頃無駄物ですぜ。親方、一つ聞いてもいいですか？
なんだ？
さっきから何やってんすか？
宇宙船の外でだな。マントをたなびかせる。
それは
男のロマンだ。
Like she's fucking crazy.
さっきから気になってたんだが、このワイヤーはなんだ？
なんでやしろ。
Oh, that's where San is. Oh, and Gran.
そうだ、いいこと思いつ
Would
いた。
that mean that they're dead? The radiation and heat?
だからパーティーでさ、美人コンテストやって君が一番になる。そして僕たちはリバイアスナンバーワンのカップルってわけ。
I can see where you think that's a great idea,
スケジュール
but that is gonna blow up.
まずいな。
This isn't a high school anime.
面白い企画入ってきたぜ。
People are gonna get
美
angry.
人コンテスト。こういうのベタだけど結構盛り上がると思うんだ。
Plus, two of the girls are on the blue gang.
俺もいけると思うよそれ。
よし決まりだ。流れや細かいスケジュールはヘイガーがやってくれるだろう。じゃあな。彼女推薦しろよ。
え？
ごめんなさい。そういう華やかな場所は苦手で。
そういうかなと思ったけど、一応。
放送ぐらいなら手伝えるけど。
うん、頼むよ。無理だよきっと。
相葉コシって人いる？
俺だけど。
Hey, well, that's what I said. The people trust him. They don't even know what he looks like or who he is. Just know his name.
ラダンとその弟子でやす。君が大歓迎だ。ぜひメインスタッフになってくれ。
条件として外の仕事から俺たち外してほしいんだけど。
それは俺の管轄じゃないけど、なんとか掛け合ってみるよ。こうして俺たちのパーティーは一気に形になっていった。
Again, I don't think Sun.
パーティーに向かって一つに集まってる。
I don't think Sun deserves that. What he did was bad, yes.
そんな楽しいイベントだと。
But he's a manipulative guy.
ちょっとぐらいいいじゃん。よしてよ、二人とも。うるさいよてめえ。攻撃、裏切り、破壊。それらが漠然とした不安をかき立ててくる。みんなもそれを感じてる。
That's what I'm saying. This isn't a normal situation.
俺たちのやってきたことは間違いじゃない。間違いじゃないのに。
Also, why are you not making contact with Mars? Land the fucking ship.
骨が折れるな。
お互い様だ。
準備も今日で終わりか。
悪いな、付き合わして。
謝るなよ。俺さ、お前が言ってくれたことに感謝してるんだぜ。
This is the weirdest of filler episodes because why aren't they landing the ship or heading towards another colony?
お前いいよ。
Or going back towards Earth?
呼び出しかよ。
ご愁傷様。
感謝してるなら付き合えよ。
やだ。コージー。
何？
絶対成功させような。
あ。
いっぱいできちゃったね。あ、まだなんかあるの？
会場の最後のチェックだ。
せっかく料理作ったのに。
ごめん、後で食べるよ。じゃあ急ぐから。
工事のやつ張り切りすぎてまるで別人みたい。何がそんなに不安なの？いくみ、料理食べない？ねえってば冷めちゃうよ。
I say he's always asleep now.
何？ごめんなさい。
I actually would have liked to know what he was saying if she had heard it. Practicing doing the speech thing. Sometimes they do elements of reminding how young these kids are. Sometimes it's to their benefit. Sometimes it's how scary they can be.
Ryvius。入場の際は ID カードを提示してください。
電源来てねえぞ。急げ急げ。はいはいはいはい。葵、料理班がちょっと遅れ気味なんだ。手伝ってくれ。
ちょっと待ってて。まったく幼馴染だと思ってこき使うんだから。
お前しかいないんだよ。
Actually, I think that's exactly what he thinks.
助かるよ。
せっかく作ったのにパーティーに出ないですって？当然よ、くだらない。何よ突然、これ作るの大変だったんだから。もうわけわかんないこと言わない。うん、これでいい？
そうだな。
行く。行くわ。
Does she have a thing for Pat? Is that what's going on?
参加しないのか。
She better be super young.
そんな気分じゃないの。あのモニターを見て。バイタルガーダーとの戦闘で火星は地軸にまで影響のある被害が出てるはずよ。ブルー、あなたは聡明な人よ。こういう事態になることは分かっていたはずだわ。なのに。襲ってきた敵が何者なのか、あなたには分かっている。
これを着てパーティーに出ろ。
私は
命令だ。
強引ね。
Yeah, that's why I don't like you. Especially because you're forceful to very specific people. It's gonna be really weird if I don't like Blue and Julie and Blue wind up together.
そういうことかよ。違うって、フーが勝手に言ってるだけだって。いい出汁に使われたな、俺ら。いいじゃねえの。今だってツバイは嫌われ者なんだし。それではしばらく。
Oh, damn it. Exactly what I was hoping wasn't gonna happen. That they're taking credit for everything. And this is why it's still gonna be fucking hated.
こういう甘いもんばっかり作ってるから体脂肪。ほら、手づかみで食べるな。戻すな。いいかパッと、こういう席でのマナーを教えただろう。しっかりした男というものはほら、知らないレディーに失礼じゃないか。申し訳ない、まだ子供なので。
何言ってるのルクス。
あ、もしかしてユリー。
はい、
皆さんお待たせしました。これより美人コンテスト。
So I feel like Blue's entire motivation is to make her into something that she's not. Now, granted, I don't know exactly what she is. Maybe she's the valedictorian because she's being forced into that herself, but I don't like it. I don't like it until it's proven that she's preferring this.
俺の幼馴染が作ったやつだから味の押しはしないけど。
変わってるなお前。
それは私が
ファイラじゃない。久しぶりね。サンディ。
ふと背後を振り返りますと、
Why does she seem to not like Sandy?
瞬く間にババーッと怪しげな
ブリッジにいるのはただの偶然。
あ、そういえばマクベインはどうしたの？一緒じゃないの？
どうしてそれを？
またルームメイトだもん、当然よ。そういえば彼あなたに大事な話があるって言ってたけど。
エントリーナンバー5、リリッシュ。
Told you this was gonna work out.
そう？
リリー、ちょっと。
何か問題でも？
美人コンテストに出てくれないかな。
私が？
匿名でエントリーがあったん
You
だ。
said McBain. Did she mean McDaniel?
登録処理は済ませてあります。
そんな。
エントリーナンバー7、エニマルギズリー。
Well, hello.
結構いいじゃん。
さて次のエントリーは？アインス、ファイナー見かけなかった？
ね、ちょっと待って。中にはいないよ。
そう。ありがとう。君。待って。
Well, he wasn't getting yelled at, so there's my notes theory.
Entry number 12,
I feel like he's just doing it to embarrass her sometimes. Not that this is embarrassing. She looks fucking amazing. I'm just saying.
あのプログラム大変だったんだよ。
私も出てみようかな。イクミン、裏技教えてよ。全とこばっかいないで手伝ってよ。
リバイアスの進路変えるなって言ったの兄貴なんだって。ああ、無謀すぎんだよバカ。では次の問題です。なあユキ、お前なんでここに来たんだ？一緒にいたくないなら他のとこに行けばいいじゃないか。一緒じゃねえと兄貴の困った面見られねえじゃねえか。何？それが理由か。今度は俺の質問に答えろ。ファイナ S 篠崎、あの女と付き合うつもりか？悪いかよ。悪いな、最悪だ。どこが悪いんだ？はっきり言え。言いたくねえんだよ。なんだよ。
Ah, man, I was gonna say, at least they were talking. And that's when it all ended.
ファイナのどこがいけないんだ？
いい曲でしょ？私が選んだの。あんた、相葉祐希くんでしょ？バイタルガーダーのトップ。ちょっとしたヒーローね。
バカにしてんのか？
とんでもない。興味がある。
Haven't seen his old girlfriend in a while.
あら、あの子を知ってる？
赤紫のやつか。
名簿で見たことないのよね。
あんな格好で正面フォトを撮るやつはいねえだろ。
そっか。
So they both see her and then don't realize that nobody else can see her. Also, girl I was just talking about.
コーチ。
パーティーに来いよ。
私そんな気分じゃ。
ごめん。でも
傷つくのが怖いのね。だから人に優しくしようとする。優しくしてほしいから。でもこれだけは覚えておいて。受け身なだけのあなたの行動が人を傷つけることもあるって。
チェックだ。どこにいるコージ？コージ？おい！
I have to imagine that something important could be happening right now.
一緒に行きたいんだ。
First mentions Charlie's fucked everything up.
仕事もしないで。
やっぱり
He's sure of living the life at least.
いきなりチークですか。
やるじゃんやるじゃん。コーチ。
クソ野郎。
それでは皆さん、お待ちかね美人コンテストの発
I can't believe that they've already kissed, so...
打ち込んでくれればナンバーワンビューティーの誕生だ。さあみんな行くぜ。スイッチオン。
I mean, you know I gotta go with 11.
押して押して。今いやつナンバーワンビューティーは
I've already indicated where my loyalties lie.
同盟の公式見解をもう一度繰り返しお伝えします。機動保安庁の河川艇および高速巡視艇、また火星軍の第2、第6艦隊に被害を与えた謎の甲虫艦は1ヶ月前に原因不明でエドルトの海に沈んだ極秘開発の船であることが判明。乗組員の犯行声明によると、船名はリバイアス。犯行の動機は太陽系の統治が地球主導で行われていることへの懸念を具現化したもので、今後も活動を続けていくとの通信が。
火星軍だって？
同盟の事務総長は
はめられた。
テロリストの要求には応じられないとのコメント。
俺たちがテロリストだって。
なぜ？どうして？
But also, why wouldn't Earth be in charge of the solar
被
system?
害を受けた火星では各ステーションに避難勧告が
I was about to say fuck you for anybody who's defending Blue, but that would be insulting, and I'm not trying to insult any of you. I just want to indicate that... What is that thing from another show? The truth speaks for itself. Fuck Blue. That's all I can say. They wasted the entire goddamn episode where they could have been landing on Mars, contacting anybody there. God damn it. To also see, like, I don't understand the very beginning shot where it looked like he may have been crying, but the tear was coming down from above his eye. So maybe it was sweat, he was sweating. Maybe he's going space crazy. That was being indicated?
放浪するリヴァイアスをめぐり陰謀と策謀が渦巻く。何も知らない俺たちは絶望という名の箱を開けるしかなかった。そこに光は見えない。未来のありどころなんてどこにもない。希望なんて言葉は無双の産物でしかない。
Yeah, I mean, they're going to an insane length to try and drag this ship down. Because again, it assumes that your lie is going to hold up to them ever being able to communicate with anybody. Like, what if they go to Jupiter? We know that Jupiter has colonies. Well, they just talked to anybody at Jupiter. Or, for that matter, we know that Akumi comes from Jupiter. Akumi couldn't talk to his family? Or, sorry, what my mind was actually going was, if this is supposed to be a terrorist organization opposed to Earth controlling the solar system, then would it not be possible that whoever is against Earth controlling the solar system has some sort of organization that they could contact, even though they're not terrorists, to explain their situation to try and get out of this? I mean, it's entirely possible that Blue made all of that up, that's not actually world building, that, like, so, if Blue had gotten on the communication system and said, we're against being spied on by birds, since birds aren't real and they're just drones made by the government, right? If Blue had said something crazy like that if the news people said it, it's not actually world building. It's just a lie that a crazy person said, and it's out being mimicked back. So, yeah, everything I said at the beginning of the episode, why aren't they doing this instead of throwing a party? Maybe the implication is that they are too young to make rational decisions. And to what I said before about Blue manipulating Julie, that Julie is essentially kind of the adult here. She is the most rational. She's the one trying to spend her time doing unimportant things, and Blue is messing her up. He is turning the best character and turning them into what I assume by the end of this, if she doesn't get her head back on her shoulders, somebody just like Criff or Criff's sister, whose name is escaping me at the moment. Like, maybe this is what Blue does to people. And I would hate to see Julie become that. And I just foresee that is the way things are going to be going. And I don't want that. I don't want that. It's not cringeworthy. That's not the word I want to use here. It is just that same feeling that you get for cringe. Just, it's uncomfortable. It's very uncomfortable. And, yeah. Other than that, though, yeah, the whole episode, the entire basis of the episode felt like a filler episode in that, except for the very end where Blue does his thing, why would they be doing this? Like, they already had to get the kids on the ship on their side in order to do the party, like, make it and everything. For them to then use the party to explain what they've been doing so far. It's insanity. Anyway, that has been episode 10, Infinite Ryvius. I've been Theta. This has been Stone-Faced Reactions. We're going to catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stone-Faced Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe and let us know what you thought about this video, what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?